Ever wanted to find out what would happen if you stuff a car with a 350 shot of nitrous? This happens. Alright everybody, welcome back to another episode of RoadKill Projects. And today we're here with Sean's abandoned child. The Impala, as we call it, because his first car was a 2007 Chevy Impala. And the closest thing to an Impala, well, the Grand Marshals, based off of a Crown Vic, is the Grand Marshal here. It has Impala elements to it, I can say that, but it's more of a Crown Vic. And Sean wanted to make a crazy car that was fast, so he basically stripped the thing down to the shell, a driver's seat, and drag radials. But the car's evolved a lot since then. In episode 2 of RoadKill, we made it into an off-roading machine, and eventually that evolved into something else, and then you saw it in episode 20 with some BFGs on it. And then after Sean crashed it, I decided I'd come to the car, fix it up, give it some body panels that actually mean something. We actually found the original hood finally for this car. It's a little dented up. But yeah, I decided to make it into a track car since Sean didn't have one, and Sean didn't like that. And now it has no motor, and it's sat for about 5-6 months. No, not even that. It's sat for about a year. Yeah. It sucks. Sean abandoned this car. I love this car so much. I don't know why, but it's going to be in the episode 30 shootout, so we got to get the car running again and working. So I don't even know what condition this car is even really in. I mean, let's take the hood off. I don't remember what trans it had. I don't remember what engine. All I remember is that I swapped in a different engine when the diesel turbo gave out on this thing. Damn. Poor car. We gotta get Sean to take this thing back one day. He's probably gonna end up driving it, I'd imagine, at the in episode 30. But I don't even know what the hell I'm going to do with this thing. All I really know is there rally shocks? No. Well, I might be taking some race suspension and raising it up and putting different tires on. I might just leave the suspension where it is. Alright, well. Let me think. What can we do? The doors are staying off of it. What does the banger rear bumper look like? Does it look cut up? Yeah, no. We'll leave the rear bumper off of it. Doors are staying off. Engine, I do know. There was a 4.5 liter V8 that was originally going to go in the Ranchero that we can throw in here. Now, something cool that I want to do, just as a twist for this episode, I had this idea the other day, and I think this engine will be able to do it. But right now, a bunch of our muscle cars that are in the RoadKill fleet and a bunch of the pickup trucks in the RoadKill fleet are up in California. So I thought, why don't we road trip the car out to California and we drag race against the Skull Basher. Now, the Skull Basher is a relatively lightweight car, and it's not a built engine, it's supercharged, it's, you know, it's not a crazy engine. But what I want to do for this car is leave it NA, and make it a nitrous bomb, basically. So we'll build the engine. So we'll put the stage 2 performance block in it. So a 250 shot of nitrous won't kill it. No exhaust. We need to make as much power as we can. That's a given. We're going to leave the stock intake. Yeah, stock intake. We're not going to put anything on. Super radiator so the car doesn't overheat. And the nitrous system. Now, of course, Sean's eventually going to take over this car and make it into its final form. Originally, I wanted to throw a D-Series truck chassis under it and call it the Monster Pala, but that idea fell through. Let's put a 5-speed manual in it, because I think that's originally what this thing had for the track setup. And for the nitrous system, 250 shot. Just right off the bat. If it blows up the engine, we have another 4.5 liter V8 sitting around. I know that for sure. Alright, let's see. This thing has some pretty grippy tires on it, so... Oh, there's no drive shaft. Why is that? The diff? Yeah, the diff is non-existent. Okay, 327 limited slip. Now, the built engine is going to give the car some horsepower, but the nitrous is going to give it more. So let's see if I blow up the car immediately. Not bad, actually. That was pretty good. Now, the whole point to me doing this is to see whether if supercharging your car is better or worse than just throwing nitrous on it NA. Now, of course, yeah, like, I have to build the block in this game, or the motor will blow up if I'm throwing a 250 shot at the engine. But I'm willing to go over and put the adjustable shot size in and maybe run a 300 shot. Actually, I wouldn't mind doing a 40 roll with the nitrous kit on. That would be pretty good. Ooh, the car's got ABS. Alright. 40 raw. I kind of want it to be in second gear. Alright, let's do a 30 roll. Come on, downshift. God damn it, it's just gonna go in third gear, just leave it. It's going like almost 140. That was about a quarter mile. This thing is insane. Of course it's gonna go through nitrous like crazy whenever it's at the track, but it actually picked up a lot of speed. I wonder how much horsepower this thing is actually making just with the nitrous. Let me throw up the torque graph up. That made no sense. Yeah, the torque curve. So stock, now this engine is like the equivalent of like an LS in this game. So stock, it's making 504 horsepower and 465 pound-foot of torque. Now that's with the built engine. But with nitrous, it makes 768 to the wheels and 757 pound-foot of torque. That's like 150 more horsepower. A little over that. That is incredible. Wow. I want to see what would happen if I tuned the nitrous to engage in second gear. Or not in second gear, in first gear. And maybe about $4,000 I'll have it engage. I think that'll be the... That won't blow the engine up, but it will probably be basically its limit. Yeah, first gear at about $4,000. It'll definitely pick up on the mile an hour. I know that for sure. Oh yeah, look. You can see it in the torque graph. Alright. Okay, so doing it that late isn't good. So if I raise the nitrous up to second gear at about like, yeah, you know what? That's what I'm gonna do. Just nitrous immediately in first gear. Or not first gear, second gear. Nitrous immediately at 1,000. I think that will make this thing pick up on the mile an hour because it'll get more fuel. Why did it change to 3,000 RPM? Can it not go that low? No, I can only start it at $2,000. Well then, still better. I bet this thing will go 150 in the quarter mile. Easily. Easily 150 in the quarter mile. It even picked up a little bit of torque. It's making 898 on the torque now with just engaging the nitrous a little bit earlier. That's incredible. I didn't think nitrous would be that good on this car. Especially on this little tiny engine. I bet if it was the 5.5 liter V8, this thing would be a monster on nitrous. Alright, well, what I think I should do now is, I think I'm going to throw this race suspension on now and get that all tuned. Put the hood back on it. I think I'm gonna put different tires and rims on this thing. I might throw some Steelies on it just to get it to the track because I don't want to use these rims on it anymore because it's gonna be getting off-road tires eventually, so might as well just throw on some throwaway Steelies that I can just get away with until Sean actually decides to work on this thing. That sounded bad. Alright, well, I'm gonna get this thing all ready for the road trip, and I'll be right back. Now let's see if it can pass the burnout test. Okay, the rear tires are a bit too sticky. And we're driving down the treacherous road again to go find out if we're gonna break a car or not. Last time we were coming down here was in the granny car, when that thing was just supercharged, and now we're just in a nitrous bomb car. It has no doors, no plates. It has lights, but yeah. I also decided when we were doing the car, I'd throw a racing seat in it, maybe make it a bit safer. But there's no cage in this thing either. So, yeah. I don't know what Sean's gonna ever do with this thing. It might be time to just rip all the dash out and make it into a derby car and say goodbye to it. Because we've legitimately exhausted every possible idea we could have had for this car. I did throw some better tires on. At least something that was better than the ETKs, because I think they were a little bit too big. I think these tires are a lot better on the car, but they'll probably be changed anyways. Who knows, maybe Sean will want to leave it like this, just make it a bit nicer. It's definitely possible before we ruin the car. The car definitely does drive well though. It drives a lot better than it used to, but it's not making as much power as it used to. So, we're not abusing this thing as much as we usually do to cars on here. Ah, well that's just great. The rear axle isn't bending yet, which is a good sign, because I don't know why, but on this car, if you dump the clutch and gun it, this thing has the axle bend, which I'm going to try to demonstrate here. I think you could legitimately watch the axle bend. You know what? We'll put it on 16 times slower, so then you could actually watch this thing bend the axle. So we build up the RPM. As you can see, the whole tire moved forward about an inch. And if you look underneath, the axle doesn't look very straight. Why this happens on the Grand Marshal, I don't know. It's just weird. It could be like the axle's bending in the shocks and everything, or it could be... It could be anything, really. It could have even been that the car didn't have a sway bar before. That could be helping it stay together. But there she is, the good old Skull Basher, with its new supercharger. So we're gonna see which car is faster in the quarter mile, either a supercharger or whatchamacallit, or nitrous. So let's see. This thing doesn't like to do burnouts. I mean, that's the best it's gonna get, even though the axle is now bent in two. Alright. Purge the nitrous. Holy shit. What? It bent the axle over. Holy crap, it bent it up on the shock and the spring, and it bent the torsion bars. Holy crap. This is just as bad as the Regency. Wow. This car has the rear end of glass. Well, you know what? This is roadkill, and we didn't come here to not let a car go down the full quarter mile. We're gonna do it like this. I'll drag race this thing until the drive shaft blows. Oh, that doesn't look good. I don't think the rear end is working like it should. Yeah, 140 to the quarter mile. Even though it bent the axle up and over, it's not a bad pass. Wow. I'm like amazed. Like you can see the driveline through the interior of the car. And I'm surprised that drive shaft hasn't blown. I think I need to put the adjustable shot size on and run a 300 shot. But before we do that, and potentially blow the drive shaft off of this thing, we gotta run the good old Skull Basher. Now I can already tell you this thing is only a stage 1 supercharger, and they're not the same engine whatsoever. They're not built the same way. So, as I'm willing to guess is that this thing's probably going to run 115 in the quarter mile. I don't remember what it ran when I drag tested it. I don't think I ever drag tested this car as it is. But who knows? Maybe I'll be surprised. Alright, the burnout that this thing can now do. Yeah, 105 to the quarter mile. I can tell you this thing doesn't have the same pickup. I bet if this thing had a bigger supercharger on it, it'd kick ass. And it'd probably be just as fast as the Impala. But we're all here to see me possibly blow up the car. Well, then again, I don't think the Impala is going to be racing now at the shootout, because the axle's about to basically blow off of it. Man, the Grand Marshals do not like grip. They just don't like it. I have had the issue with the car in the past, but I thought like Beam would have maybe fixed it or something. This is like really shocking to me. I'm also surprised that the car is still driving as it is. But alright, let's put the adjustable shot on it. It is going to fix the axle, which is kind of a good thing, but I'll run it twice if it doesn't blow up. If not, let's go into the shootout like this. Damn. That's some fucking carnage. I need a picture of that. Yeah, I'm taking a few pictures of this really quick. Because Sean is going to need to see this carnage. I mean, that's just incredible amounts of carnage. And just zoom. Oh yeah, I can't zoom out. Come on. Take that side and this side. My God, is that just insane? That's worse than it's almost as bad as the Regency when I put the 1,000 horsepower engine in that thing. But all right, it's time to send it. 300 shot at the top of second gear. Actually, you know what? No, we'll be okay. Well, oh no, not a 400 shot. Okay. 300 shot, top of second gear. I think that is probably this thing's limit. It might be making about 900 or about 800 of the wheels and about 800 pound-foot of torque now. There goes the axle already. It already bent up a little bit. I wonder why it does that. Alright, purge it. $150, holy crap. I think we need to try a 350 shot. Just for the fun of it, I think we need to try a 350 shot. Because I want this thing, like, at its limit on how much power it can make. Yeah, 350 shot. If not, I'm going for the big 400 shot. Because I know that will blow this thing up. I'm not even going to do a burnout because I just want to see if the axle's going to cave in half. This might be enough to kill the car, but I'm willing to risk it. Okay, don't do that bullshit. Oh my God! It blew the tire! Oh my God. It blew the tire, but not only that, it was enough power to break the drive shaft. Oh man. That's just great. Alright, well, yeah. Hopefully you enjoyed. And, we'll see you next time. Goodbye.